Weda hey, weda hey, wedo. Hoka hey. Boozhoo getche manadu. Mino giga jeb. Good morning. If it's cool with you, daga we duk gawishin, minaway nungum. Please help me to speak well today. I want to do a good show for the people. And, I kind of hope it'll help people, but maybe be informative, maybe a little educational. I don't know. Thy will be done. But if it's cool with you, give me a hand here. I wanna do a good show today. All right. So miigwech bizandawieg. Thank you for listening. Gitche manadu. Great spirit. Ape enge. Amen. Boozhoo. And welcome back to the show. Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about OJIBWE language and culture. And today, our OJIBWE word of the day, Mushkiki de Tibisaid, medicine wheel. Today we're going to talk about the medicine wheel. And, who really needs medicine? A grieving turtle. Hey, Boozhoo, grieving turtle. Gashkain the moen mishike. Or maybe just Gashkain the mishike. How do you say grieving? Gashkain the Edie Win mishike. And good morning, Jessica. Boozhoo. I'm so happy you're here. Can't even start until Jessica gets here. Today we're going to talk about the medicine wheel. We're going to sort out our stuff. Isn't that right, Makwa? Yeah, man. I'm with you there, brother. That's Makwa the bear. His lips don't move from this far. We'll get him up here later. But, so how you guys doing? Jim's here. Mino Giga Jeb. Jim, good morning. Do you have your black medicine water? Do you have your Makare Mashkiki Wabu? The black medicine water. Medicine. Everything is medicine with Shanabs. Anytime we like something, it's like, oh, that's good medicine. Oh, you know what? I think music is medicine. To the Anishinaabe, this idea of medicine was something that would heal, something that would make you feel better. And so makere mashkiki wabu was a drink that would make you feel better. And, we were talking about dances with wolves the other day. And there's that famous scene where John Dunbar gives coffee to his New Indian friends. Old Graham Greene, old Kicking Bird, and Wind in His Hair, and whoever. And they're all sitting there. They're trying coffee for the first time. And they take a sip, and they're like, oh, wow. This is like the best tea we ever had, huh? What do you call it? And John Dunbar's all, oh, this is called coffee. But hold on. I'm going to put a little sugar in there. And he puts a little teaspoon of sugar in 1 cup of coffee. And the skin's like, oh, wow, this is great. Here, try this. And he grabs a big old handful of sugar. And he just throws it in the coffee. And so when I was telling that story, I was like, and then Kicking Bird says to his brothers there, he goes, from now on, if anybody ever says white people never did nothing for us, you remind them they brought us coffee and sugar. This will become part of our culture. So, yeah. But, coffee's good. Like everything, they want to scare you and tell you, oh, you drink too much. You're never going to go to sleep again or something. but it's good for your plumbing. You know, every morning, you know what I'm talking about. You could set your watch to when I find you on the throne. Oh, isn't that exactly 3 minutes after you drank half a cup of coffee? BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. Daniel Black is here. BOOZHOO, Daniel. Welcome to the show. We're going to talk about the medicine wheel. So if coffee is a medicine, you know, I got up early and I planned something here, you guys. Check this out. This is the medicine wheel. Boom. Huh? So the medicine wheel, Mushkiki de Tibisaid. That's our word for medicine, or for medicine wheel. And I know you guys probably already know this, but for the kids, medicine wheel is divided into 4 quadrants, and 4 can be used for just about anything. Let me go find a better one. Whoops. Go to the shop, Michael. Okay. All right, let's go up. Boom, boom, boom. Can I go up? Nope. Geo's on just a roll, too. All right, never mind. The medicine wheel. So there's 4 quadrants in the medicine wheel. And those 4 groups, they represent lots of things. There can be the 4 directions, you know, north, east, south, west. There can be the 4 races. There's the 4 stages of life, the 4 elements. There's the 4 whole bunch of stuff. Oh, you know what? Since I'm off camera, now I can do this. Okay, so check this out. Boom. But one of the things that it can represent is the 4 states of being. Let me go put my beautiful face back on here. All right, so here we've got the Mushkiki de Tibisaid, the medicine wheel. And so in addition to all the other 4 seasons, you know, everything's 4 in reality. But you get so today we're gonna focus on the 4 states of being. And this is, you know, if you just can't get with it, if you're not happy, if you're not just crushing it, if you're not living the life you want to be living, if you're not who you want to be, it might be because you're out of balance. So they say the medicine wheel, you should do this. Ida Braveheart, Ida Downwind. She once told me, she goes, yeah, you should check this every day. So ask yourself, okay, let's say, so here are the 4 states of being: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So you got your physical. Now physical is, let's just concentrate on that. How's your body? How's your diet? How is your plumbing working? How much sleep are you getting? How much water are you getting? You know, and on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say 10 is your perfect health and 1 is you're just about dead. Physically, how are you? 1 to 10. Hey, sweetie, how are you 1 to 10 physically? Me? Oh, I'm a 10 for sure. Well, yeah, you're a 10. She's a 10 because she's, you know, looking good. Nah. How's your physical health? You know, it's pretty good. I would say 9.5. I should exercise more. I'm kind of skinny. I could work out. Yeah, okay, so 9.5. So physically. And, you know, if you want to, like, work your stuff out, you would kind of go, all right, what am I going to do about my physical health? What if you're 20 pounds overweight? What if you haven't eaten a green vegetable in 6 months? What if you're addicted to alcohol? You know, you might have to make some changes, but just focus on physical. If that's flat, let's say you have a 5. Let's say you got Lyme's disease and you got high blood pressure and high sugar, and you got lower back pain. That could be affecting your overall wellness. So, get to work. Then you go on to mental. So you got your mental health. What is mental? Mental is like the things you think about. What's in your brain? Do you think about the past all the time? Are you just thinking about, oh, wow, that was a really rugged childhood I had. How come everything bad happened to me? Or so they say like depression. That's when you're obsessed with the past. But then let's say you what? Oh, or are you constantly thinking about the future? If you're hopeful, if you got a good attitude, then that's great. Oh, I can't wait for the future, sort of. But living in the future is bad too, because it can be like, oh, I'll be happy if only I can get through the day. As soon as it's 4:30 and I can leave the job, then I'll be happy. They say if you're living in the future, that's where worry lives. So what's going on in your mental mind? What do you think about? So then if you're thinking about the present, do you worry about money? Do you focus on your worries, or do you focus on your memories? What's in your brain? Are you filling your brain with all kinds of horrible stuff that you see on the internet? Whether it's a violent movie, scary movie, whatever. Mentally, what's going on upstairs? And then emotionally. So now we come down to the third quadrant, emotional. What is emotion? If you ask a room full of 6th graders to name emotions, they can rattle off about 4. They go happy, sad, mad, scared. They have a hard time, and you have to go, is jealousy an emotion? Is grief an emotion? Is hunger an emotion? But how are you emotionally? From 1 to 10. Sweetie, how are you emotionally from 1 to 10? Emotionally, I'm going to say I am a 9.5. I'm pretty happy. I got my coffee. Yeah. So 9.5. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing pretty good. But, sometimes in life, you're going to be, you got a toothache. Physically, you're at a 5. Mentally, you've been watching, horror movies and playing video games, so you're a 5. So emotionally, you might be at a 5, It's going to be kind of a result of the other quadrants. So, what can you do emotionally? How do you fix yourself emotionally? There's a lot to it, but everyone focuses on emotions like that's separate from your physical health and your mental health and your spiritual health. If you don't like the emotions you're feeling, it's probably because the other 3 aren't working. But men, this is for Daniel and Richard and, whoever, Jim. As men, our emotions should be, we have them, but they're under wraps. We're like Vulcans. We cannot let the emotions guide our mental, physical, or spiritual pursuits. Emotions just are the feelings. How do you feel? Oh, but this is my point with the kids. Sometimes you should write down a journal. Say, what am I feeling? Am I really mad at, my boss? Or am I scared? Am I feeling jealousy? Or am I feeling grief? Sometimes men also, we don't know how to identify our feelings, you know. And sometimes they kind of shame us for having feelings. You know, we're allowed to have anger or happiness, but we're not really allowed to have fear. But inside, you know, if you're afraid, you should look at that and go, what am I afraid of? Is it death? Is it shame? Is it poverty? Whatever. So finally, spiritual. What is your spiritual life? Spiritual life is anything that's not material. So it's like, do you have a spiritual life? Do you spend any time connecting with the source of creation? Do you ever pray? You know, before everybody tuned in this morning, if you're watching this in the future, you'll notice I just started praying to Gitche Manadu. I wanted some help. And so I was like, Gitche Manadu, will you please help me, you know, speak well today? I want to be helpful. But I also want to be funny. I want to be entertaining. And, you know, some people, lots of old grandmas are like this. They live with the Spirit. They walk around all day long saying little prayers, saying grace before they eat something. You know, they're very spiritual people. But some people are just material people. All they care about is stuff. Oh, look at my car. Oh, I got to go buy this thing. Oh, I'll be happy if I can just get the deals on Black Friday. When you're super materialistic, that'll invade on your spiritual. You know, we are both. We're spiritual beings and material beings. So, you know, go ahead and buy something if you want it. But if it's material stuff, isn't going to help your spiritual. So, sweetie, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you spiritually? I would say I am a 8 or 9. Oh, that's the lowest one yet. How come? I don't know. I could probably pray more often or something. Yeah, I suppose. So there you go. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. The 4 quadrants of the Mush Kiki de Tibesaid. And I'm going to get rid of this little graphic, if I can. Not that one. La 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 do do do. That's text. Oh, this is so hard to do, you guys. What if... I know. Excuse me for a minute. Well, Michael uses his other hand. Oh, excuse me. I had something caught in my throat. Nah. So there you go. The Mushkiki de Tibesaid. So how are you guys doing? Arlene, Richard, Daniel's here. Keep up with the graphics because I'm jotting them down for added learning. Hey, cool. Good for you, Daniel. Grieving Turtle says WYBR. Oh, white, yellow, black, red. I remember some NHL guys saying they were looking for webinars. Maybe they meant this circle thing for Webbers. Oh, I wonder. Webbers, yeah. When I was in college, everybody got real sensitive to the idea that, hey, man, those colors don't mean the races. We're not the red man. And then you read little Black Elk Speaks. They're like, Black Elk was always calling Shanab's red man. The red man lives in harmony with nature. And the white man lies. Christina Berry, bonjour, Christine. Oh, so nice to see you. Good morning, friends, she says. Or Webbers, yeah, like a spider web. Or Roy G. Biv for the color spectrum. Oh, yeah. So I've done a lot of work with that old uh, medicine wheel. You know, it's good for so many things. For talking about different stuff, the four seasons, you know, how everything's a circle in our way. De tibis said, you know. So mushkiki de tibis said, the medicine circle. And it's not just for, you know, decoration. Sure, it's a cool tattoo, but, you know, it really was meant as a spiritual practice. You know, we will use this symbol to help us discuss these strange issues. So how are you guys doing? Are you working on yourselves, or have you finally arrived? The one upside to the, whatever you want to call this, if you're like me and spending a lot of time under house arrest, it's been quite a year to not be distracted by the outside world. You know, if you ever wondered what it would be like if you didn't have to go to work, or if you were freed from a lot of social obligations, and you just had to live by yourself for a long time, that's what 2020 kind of was like for me. I mean, I had my sweetie here. Yeah. And Michael was here. But, you know, this lockdown pandemic thing, there's an upside, you know. Really made us have to face ourselves. Grandpa would say, try and become a man of value rather than being a man of success. Yeah, like stuff like that. You kind of face, like, you know, we've been living one way, trying to do something. And, you know, when stuff hits the fan, it's men of value that matter. A man who can add value. Somebody who can help. A man of success, I mean, what is that? Money? Who cares? You know, there were some successful people who lost it all in 2020. They'd spent their whole lives, you know, building a bar or something, a restaurant. They had employees. And they had, you know, they had stuff going on. They had invested in an ice machine or whatever. They bought a karaoke machine. They thought it would help. And then all this happened and they lost their business. They had to lay off their workers. You know. And they realized, man, I had been spending all this energy trying to become successful. Maybe I should become a man of value. I'm just at home with my kids. Oh, it's Danielle. Danielle, you're a girl, aren't you? When I read Danielle, I always think Daniel. I don't know, I suppose a guy could be watching his kids. It doesn't seem to happen that much anymore. But that's the most noble, most valuable thing you can do is raise children. You know, somewhere along the line we stopped honoring mothers. I'm at home with my kids. Northern Star Man, Big Beaver Boy, and White Bear Girl. While the wife's at work. Oh, you are a dude. Okay, never mind, Daniel. And good for you for raising your kids. I mean, talk about, yeah, okay, we stopped honoring mothers somewhere along the line, but boy, we have really given it to dads. They've all but canceled Father's Day. So Daniel, on behalf of all of us in the community, thank you for being a dad. You know, just the fact that you're in your kid's life gives them a way better chance at, like, not ending up in jail, not becoming a drug addict, not, you know, making a bunch of other little single moms. You know, good job. Thank you for raising your children with these cool Indian names. At DB, there's a Big Beaver Road in Troy, Michigan. Big Beaver Road. Hey, come on, man. This is a kid's show. Quit making those dirty jokes. What? So yeah, it's Monday. It's the day after prayer day. It's Ishwa Anima E Gisha Good. It is the day after prayer day in our little talking circle here. Yeah, see there too, there's a talking circle. You know, back in the day, that's how the Shanabs would, that was their court, that was their judge and jury. They would have a talking circle. They would settle disputes in a circle, and you'd have a stick or something. You might have like a talking stick, and then the talking stick. Anybody who had the talking stick, they could talk for as long as they wanted. And you had to let them talk. And they'd pass that stick around the circle, and everybody would get a chance to chime in no matter what. And so that's how we talked, in a circle. La, la, la. So yeah. Monday, Monday. La, 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 la. How you guys feeling about Monday? Ishwa Anima E Gisha Good. Ishwa Anima E Gisha Good. Here we go. Ishwa Anima E Gisha Good. Ishwa Anima E Gisha Good. Ishwa Anima E Gisha Good. Day after prayer day. Today is the day after the big prayer day. We had a show yesterday morning. A lot of you guys were there. It was our prayer day show. And oh wow, we just talked about spirituality and religion. It was like a church service. Michael got on there with his guitar. You want to play a song for the people? I could. Should we check out the new sound? You got that big show tomorrow night. Yeah, no. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn the show over to Michael Lyons. And, yeah, I'll see you again. Giga Wubba Min. Middle. Oh, what? How'd I do? That was really good. All right, good. Hello, everybody. How are you this morning? It's a little tricky operating the equipment with NANABOOZHOO's hand on. I may not always love you. Good morning. Want to pop in and wish you luck tomorrow? Thank you, Brandy Marie. Are you going to let us watch after you make it? Yeah, I'm going to try to tape it, and then I'll just post it. Grieving Turtle says, someday teach us the Ojibwe word for kangaroo and penguin, please. How can there be Ojibwe words for animals we didn't have? It was really good, by the way, yesterday and the day before. Deep. Thank you, Brandy. Jim, doing the Vulcan. Jim gets it. Yeah, that's the final lesson I'm learning as an old man. You know, I was raised by women. And so there was always a lot of talk about emotions, or a lot of validation about emotions. No one told me not to, you know. Remember how like the first thing they teach you was like, it's okay, big boys, you don't have to listen to that idea that big boys don't cry. And then the problem is you end up having your emotions rule you. Okay, this is going to work if I can tilt it just a little bit more. There we go. So, let me readjust here. Oh, there it is. Today's show is brought to you by Makade Mush Kiki Wabu, the black medicine water. Um, so tomorrow is the big Zoom meeting, the virtual storytelling event, and I have to decide if I want to sing songs during it. I've got to be on for an hour and a half, so I can wear out my welcome pretty quickly. But I set up an amp back here, and what I'm hoping is that you'll be able to hear the guitar. Mina bashki mina sagani batusi chikani bakwajikan. Mina bashki mina sagani batusi chikani bakwajikan. How is the level? Can you hear? It sounds beautiful. Great, thanks, Brandy. Bashki mina sagani batusi chikani bakwajikan. Mina bashki mina sagani batusi jagani bakwajigan. Blueberry pie. In the Anishinaabe way, blueberry pie is very sacred. We write songs about it. Mina bashki mina sagani batusi jagani bakwajigan. Yeah. So, Mina bashki mina sagani batusi jagani. I only focus on that because there's such folklore behind. That's the longest word in Ojibwe, and I don't even know if that's true. But so okay, if this works, then maybe tomorrow I can talk about my grandpa running away from boarding school and but if looks could kill, there's a man there who's marked down for death. I've had my fill. Listen, you, take your hands from her head. I get so mean around the scene. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Oops. Around here, something's going wrong around here. I'm just checking the sound. What grade is it going to be? All ages? I think it's all ages. Is tomorrow the school or the community center? It's all ages, but it's being funded by an educational group. This show is really kind of like an adult-supported children's show, where it's all adults trying to get the kids interested in it, and I found that the kids are actually more interested in me live. They want to see behind the scenes how puppets work. But as an actual something to watch on YouTube, like I've met kids where they right away, there's a YouTube show, what's it called? It's some goofy show that's got millions of views, which is like a guy just with toys being so ridiculous and like the toys being thrown across the room and stuff. And they see a connection between our shows. But so yeah, it's all ages. Um, but then I have to get on there, so it is kind of a behind the scenes. I think it's going to actually feel a lot like this, only I'll be able to hear them. So here's a song I wrote when I broke up with a girl. I'm that guy. I thought there might be a neat idea to write a song, I don't think it's ever been done, about what it feels like when you break up with somebody. And I felt so bad at the time because I don't know why. Is Bird Clan the musicians? Yeah, I heard that once. Like, I mean, there's a lot of like little subsects of different bird clans, but like the Eagle Clan is love and music and stuff like that. There's a story about all the animals getting different jobs, and there were songbirds that were given jobs, like before they were born. The creator, it was like he was creating each animal, just one of them, and so he gave a job to certain birds that were going to be messengers between the prayers and the Great Spirit, and some birds, their job was going to be to bring music. But the crow, something called the Great Spirit away for a second. And the crow had got impatient and left and was like, I'm not waiting around for my job. I'm just going to go to Earth. He went to Earth, but then he found out that he didn't know what his purpose was. And so that's why the crow is always walking around on the side of the road or hanging out on wires, looking around. And you go, that's right. Crows do kind of look like they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Sometimes they're following around an eagle. Sometimes they're at the dump with the bear. Part of that story, too, is that the Ondeg, the crow, goes out and starts asking people, or different animals, what their life purpose is. And, can they teach them? And the bear tries to teach the crow how to be a bear. And he shows them, he takes them down to the river. And he goes, well, this is how you catch fish. And you stick your head in there and grab it with your face. And the crow's like, no, that doesn't work for me. He goes, well, let's go to the dump. And he goes, you can pick at the dead stuff. And he goes, well, this works. And Muckwa finally goes, well, it's getting late. And Ondeg goes, what do you mean it's getting late? It's only noon. He goes, no, it's getting late in the year. It's going to be winter soon. And let's take a nap for the next, 4 months. And Ondeg goes, you take a nap for 4 months? He goes, yeah, it's the bear way. And Ondeg goes, these ways are good for you, Muckwa, but they are not my ways. And so Ondeg goes off, and they remain friends. Ondeg thanks Muckwa for teaching him these ways. But he says, these are your ways, these are not my ways. But we'll stay friends, so in the spring, I'll come back, I'll meet you at the dump. And here we'll have dinner. And that is why anytime you go out to the dump, you're likely to see Bear and the crows feasting together because they're friends. It's really cute when NANABOOZHOO tells that story. But what is your purpose? What is your life purpose? I had to be in my 50s before I even started to understand that concept. Because I always wanted to be successful. I had dreams. I was a big dreamer. I was going to be a rock star or a cartoonist or a rock star cartoonist. And I was always a schemer and making moves and trying to survive. And I didn't But I didn't really believe that I didn't think in terms of people are born with a purpose. You know, Michael Jordan came to this place to play basketball. That was his purpose in life. When you discover your purpose, then everything slides into place. You'll be provided for. Some people, their purpose is to raise the family they have. But to think you have a purpose is to believe that there's a spiritual world and that you were created and that there's meaning in the life, in the world. If everything's just a random accident, nothing matters, and then there's no such thing as a purpose. Then you might as well just be materialistic and buy stuff and try to just chew the most delicious candy you can find because you're just going to die and there's no purpose. Or if you find a purpose, then I think, I don't know, it's like you start to shine. Grandpa was a Jijak clan. Cool. That means you are. Oh, do I dare play this song? How's that go? Oh, there it is. Man, I can't believe there it is. Turn down the light, turn down the bed, turn down these voices inside my head. Lay down with me, tell me no lies. Just hold me closely and don't patronize. Don't patronize me. 'Cause I can't make you love me if you don't. You can't make your heart feel something it won't. Here in the dark, these final hours, I will lay down my heart, and I feel the power that you won't. No, you won't. 'Cause I can't make you love me if you don't. If you don't. I will screw that up there. If you don't. I don't know. Totally ruined the mood. Some kind guy said I look like Bonnie Raitt. I don't know who she was. Oh, no kidding. Bonnie Raitt. Bonnie Raitt had her own kind of beauty. She really made cool that one gray streak of hair, big gray lock. She's probably the most beautiful ginger in the late 80s, early 90s, just to hold a guitar. But what made her beautiful were her songs like this. I'll close my eyes, then I won't see. Love you don't feel when you're holding me. Morning will come. You know, there's something weird that happens. And I know this sounds weird, but I learned this in the 5th grade. Everybody's more beautiful when they sing. I mean, sometimes you see a still shot of somebody and, you know, their face is all clenched. But when people sing, especially beautifully, they become beautiful. And I was in the 5th grade. We did a Christmas show at the school, and it was the Madrigal Dinner. So it was a show, and boy, our school they really put a lot of effort into stuff. The show was that the families came, and I think they had like cafeteria dinner in the gym. But then we put on a madrigal show of where I was in the choir, and the choir would sing Christmas songs. And then there was actors dressed as kings and queens and stuff having a big feast. And we sang songs like, "Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen." And my buddy Ernie was dressed up as the king, and he went out and he would act what the song was going on, you know. It was the Madrigal Dinner. And there was a girl, I don't even remember her name anymore. I think she was a year or two younger than me. So, you know, that's a big gap when you're a 5th grader. So she was a 3rd grader or a 4th grader or something. And a little chubby girl, never thought of her twice. And I should preface this too. In the 5th grade, if I'm being honest, I was really popular at my school. In the 4th grade, I had won a talent show dressed up as being Elvis Presley. And we were a small school, and I had lots of friends, in addition to having done this, being kind of famous for this Elvis Presley, you know, singing thing I was doing. And so, you know, I felt like a cool kid. And this girl, I think her name was Michelle, was not a cool kid. She was some dorky girl in a younger class than me. But she stood next to me in the choir, and we sang together. And we started goofing off, and I would catch her in the corner of my eye when she was singing, and I remember something clicking, me going, "She's really cute. I never noticed." And then when she stopped singing, she kind of went back to being her old, snotty, you know, little kid self, whatever. But while we were singing together, I developed a crush on her. That went away pretty quickly after Christmas. I never told her how I felt, but that was when I learned that, yeah, when people sing, you can connect with them it's probably a spiritual way. I don't know. Anyway, that's a hard song to sing. I should sing an easier song. Long December, well, there's reason to believe maybe this year will be better than the last. I can't remember the last thing that she said as she was leaving. Now the days go by so fast, and it's one more day up in the canyon. One more night in Hollywood. And if you think that I could be forgiven, I wish you would. Na 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 na, yeah. And you have been watching BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Nagamunda. Hey, Natasha, you haven't said hello yet. Would you like to come out and maybe talk to the people a little bit? You want me to come on camera? I don't know. I'm too shy. You're not shy. I am. I'm really shy. Okay. Well, how about if you're cool with it, you come on anyway, and I'll go over here and grab this stuff. So Natasha, yeah. What can I ask you? Natasha, speaking of the medicine wheel. Oh yeah, that was kind of cool. I never thought of the medicine wheel like that. The 4 quadrants. Yeah. So, how are you doing, like, just overall? If you had to average your score, mental, physical, emotional, whatever. How are you doing? I'm a 9.25. 9.25. That is really good. I'm happy to hear that. Have you ever suffered from like depression or anxiety, or has there ever been a time when that number would have been like a 3 or 4 or something? Oh, you kidding me? Yeah, most of my 30s. Yeah, it's not easy, is it? Oh, life is brutal sometimes. I know. And sometimes when you try to do something really fast, it actually makes it harder to do. I know, huh? We're getting there, though. Because even this could be bizarrely kind of punk rock. We're a homemade show. Yeah, huh? Okay, I can't let people see my mouth now. You make this look so effortless. So here we are, drifting on an open sea. Me, Bear Clan. You talk like a Bear Clan. Me. I was saucy no damn. If you want to say I'm Bear Clan, you would say Makwa Nindo Dam. Oh, Daniel's Migazi Clan, Eagle Clan, Hoa. You guys are the leaders. Bear Clan are the protectors. And Eagle Clan are the leaders. Oh, the Eagle Clan are so spiritual. They're all about the medicine wheel. Nah. So yeah. I don't know. What am I doing here? La la la, medicine wheel. Are you going to have me on the show tomorrow? I think what I'll probably do is have you introduce the whole show. Because you're so goofy that I think you'll get people in the right mindset. Okay. So yeah, live streaming it on Mushkiki de Tibisade. And yeah, me, I don't know what I should talk about. It's not easy being green. I think part of the problem is I'm a little too low. One more time. Here we are. Have you seen her? La 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 la. Do 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 do. So, what's going on in the world today? It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. It sure feels like the end of the world, doesn't it? Maybe it always does. La 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 la. And I feel fine. Line right up. You know, I kind of quit watching the news. I've gone back to being ignorant. You know, it's like they keep it. It's like a never-ending drama with cliffhangers every night. Oh, they're going to run out of toilet paper. Oh, no. Oh, everyone's going to die of a disease. Oh, no. Oh, they're going to have bread lines. There's not going to be any jobs anymore. Oh, no. Oh, nobody loves each other. Oh, no. And I think, and then nothing, it's never as bad as you're worried about. And, I don't know. Life just keeps going on and on and on. That's one thing I learned about getting older. You know, it's never as bad as they threaten it. You know, when I was younger, we thought there was going to be nuclear war. We thought the whole world would blow up. Oh, these kids today, oh no, I'm going to get the flu. Yeah, well, when I was your age, I thought I was going to get nuked. Oh no, where's my mask? Yeah, where's my mask? Where's my gas mask? That's what we were worried about in the old days. I feel like I'm stuck in the Twilight Zone. I'm not watching the news ever again. Yeah, I think I'm done with the news. And it doesn't matter if it's CNN or Fox or whatever. They all say that they get the same script. And it's a threat to our democracy. You know. Oh, everybody, be afraid. China is going to get you. Russia's going to get you. Trump's going to get you. Biden's going to get you. And then, you know. I mean, people were screaming in the streets when Donald Trump got elected. Crying out loud. Ah, no! And 4 years came and went. And, you know. We're still here. Keep it light. Yeah, no kidding. I gotta keep it light, right? Is Natasha's dress Jordache? It sure is, sweetie. Jordache jeans were so popular in the 90s. Yeah, I know, huh? The 90s. Fashion was great at every point except now. You know? I missed putting all that hairspray in my bangs. You know, we ladies, we always know how to keep it cool. But, you know, in this town in Bemidji, like you'll notice I'm wearing pink. And, you know, I got kind of a Minnesota vibe. You know, I'm wearing flannels and stuff, but I'm still a ladylike. But in Bemidji, a lot of my sisters, they dress like loggers. You know, they'll be wearing like a snowmobile jacket and some sweats and big old whatever. And you'll think it's a dude. And then she'll take off her her big old Russian hat or whatever. And you'll go, oh, it's a lady. I couldn't tell. This is Bemidji. Where the men are men and so are the women. La la la. Well, so yeah, do I have any stories I'd like to tell from the old days about the future? Well, back to the, you know, let me see if I can operate this. Oh, that looks kind of cool. So the medicine wheel, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Oh, and this is why it's so important. I don't know if it's important. You know, it's actually, this is the problem. Nanaboo should talk about this stuff. Nanaboo, you want to come back out here? I just realized something about myself. when it comes to talking about like native culture and spirituality and stuff, I sort of feel like I should let Nanaboozhoo do this. Is that a girl thing? I mean, I've known some really spiritual, very wise, traditional Indian women. But given the option to talk about issues, culture, and teach, I kind of want to defer to Nanaboozhoo. I mean, you got the big Indian name, so ladies and gentlemen, let's turn this back over to Nanaboozhoo. And I will see you again tomorrow. Gizagain, I love you. And I will see you again. Gikawabamin, Minawa. All right, that was a whole lot of trouble for a lot of nothing. Oh, no, you did just great. And actually, you know what? I probably should get back on camera because we're going to wrap this up. But I wanted to talk about just one thing. Oh, really? What was that? Well, I was going to say something about how to apply, or I don't know what I was going to say. I'm too distracted. Okay then. Sorry. So, Natasha, thank you so much. We're going to have to kind of think about your role tomorrow. I mean, you'll definitely be on the show, but I gotta do this in the right way. So, yeah. So, when it comes to cultural things, Mushkiki de Tibisaid. You know what it is, sweetie? What? You probably didn't want to teach these teachings because I'm your elder. Oh, yeah, that's probably right. Yeah. You know, in the Indian way, we always kind of defer to the elders, to the Gitche Anishinaabe, the great people. And since I'm your elder, you probably realize that, it wasn't really your place to be talking about this. So let me get back to that image. All right, finally. For future lazy Ojibwe language teachers who use this video instead of teaching today, I want to say, well done, dude. I used to do the exact same thing. This is the Mushkiki de Tibisaid, the medicine wheel. And I think what Natasha was going to talk about was how the four quadrants are like the four directions. So when you offer your tobacco, offer it to the four directions and start in the east. And you can think in terms, you would say, Odapanaman niwi asema. And then what you're doing is you're offering it to the spirits of that direction. Manadug Owede Wabanung would be like, accept my tobacco, spirits of the west. But if you don't know the Ojibwe yet, good news, the spirits understand English too. But yeah, so you offer it to the four directions, and then you offer it to Mother Earth and Gitche Manadu. And if you do that before you go on a car ride, you probably won't get in a crash. All right. Michael, did you want to add anything to the show before we sign out? No, I think it's pretty good. All right. Hey, everybody. I want to say, miigwech ganawabieg. Thank you for watching BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, a podcast about the medicine wheel, Mushkiki de Tibisaid, and Ojibwe language and culture. So I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minawa. Hawa.